Let me ask you something. When you think of Europe, what comes to mind? The Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum, Big Ben, crowds of tourists, expensive hotels, and selfie sticks as far as the eye can see. Yeah, that Europe exists. But there's another Europe, one that most tourists never find. And honestly, it's so much better. Today on Roam the World, we're pulling back the curtain on 10 of Europe's most breathtaking hidden gems, secret spots that will make you want to book a flight before this video is even over. We're talking hidden villages that look like they were painted by hand. Secret beaches with crystal clear water and zero crowds. Ancient towns where locals still live exactly as they did centuries ago. Some of these places don't even have English signs. That's how off the beaten path we're going today. So if you're ready to travel smarter, explore deeper, and discover a side of Europe that most people never see, you're in the right place. Kicking off our list at number 10, and already we're starting somewhere absolutely stunning. Kotor, Montenegro. Tucked inside a dramatic bay surrounded by towering mountains, Kotor is one of the best preserved medieval towns in all of Europe, and most people can't even find Montenegro on a map. Inside the old city walls you'll find winding marble alleyways, centuries-old churches, rooftop cats that basically own the town, and some of the most dramatic mountain scenery you'll ever see reflected in a bay. The hike up to the fortress above the city takes about an hour and rewards you with a view so insane you'll question whether it's real. And the best part, because Montenegro uses the euro but isn't in the EU, everything here is incredibly affordable. Kotor feels like Dubrovnik before Dubrovnik got famous. And right now, it still has that magic. Airplane best time to visit, April to June or September to October, fewer crowds and perfect weather. Gem number 9, Hallstatt's lesser-known neighbor, Grundlsee, Austria. Everyone's heard of Hallstatt. It's on every Instagram travel page and it deserves the hype, but it's also absolutely packed with tourists. Just 30 minutes away sits Grundlsee, Austria's largest lake entirely within the country, surrounded by the Styrian Alps. And on any given weekday, you might have the whole shoreline to yourself. The lake is so still and clear it creates perfect mirror reflections of the mountains above. You can kayak from one end to the other, stopping at tiny lakeside villages for homemade food and locally brewed beer. There are no tour buses here, no souvenir shops, just pure, raw Austrian nature, the way it was meant to be experienced. Skip the crowds at Hallstatt. Come to Grundlsee and have one of Austria's most beautiful places almost entirely to yourself. Gem number 8, Gjirokastra, Albania. Albania is still one of Europe's most underrated countries full stop, and Gjirokastra might be its crown jewel. This UNESCO World Heritage City is built entirely from grey limestone, climbing up a steep mountainside under the shadow of a massive Ottoman castle. It looks like something straight out of a fantasy novel. The old bazaar is still alive and functioning, with local craftspeople selling handmade goods the same way they have for generations. And the views from the castle over the entire Drino Valley will genuinely stop you in your tracks. Albania is also incredibly budget-friendly. You can eat a full traditional meal for under $3, and a night in a beautiful guest house in Gjirokastra costs less than a cup of coffee at a Paris cafe. Albania is the secret that European travelers have been keeping to themselves for years. Gjirokastra is the reason why. Gem number 7, Matera, Italy. Most people go to Italy for Rome, Florence, and the Amalfi Coast. And those places are incredible. But if you want to experience something that will truly blow your mind, take the train south to Matera. Matera is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities on Earth. People have been living in cave homes carved directly into the rocky canyon here for over 9,000 years. 9,000 years. The ancient cave district, known as the Sassi, was once considered a place of poverty and shame. Today it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most hauntingly beautiful places in all of Europe. Walking through Matera at dusk, when the stone buildings glow golden in the fading light and the whole city goes quiet, it's one of those travel experiences you simply cannot put into words. Matera doesn't feel like a city. It feels like stepping 9,000 years back in time, and it will change the way you think about human history forever. Gem number 6, Faroe Islands, Denmark. Halfway between Norway and Iceland sits one of the most dramatic and otherworldly landscapes anywhere on Earth. The Faroe Islands. 18 volcanic islands rising sharply from the North Atlantic Ocean, covered in green cliffs so steep that waterfalls tumble directly off the edge into the sea. The sky changes every 20 minutes. One moment it's bright sunshine. Next moment, thick rolling fog swallowing everything whole. The islands are home to more sheep than people, tiny colorful villages perched on cliffsides, and hiking trails that will genuinely make your legs shake, both from the effort and from the sheer terror of the drop below. The Faroe Islands receive just over 100,000 visitors a year. Iceland, their nearest neighbor in spirit, receives over 2 million. That gap is your opportunity. The Faroe Islands look like the edge of the world. And standing on those cliffs, staring out at the endless Atlantic, that's exactly what it feels like. Gem number 5. Sintra, Portugal, the secret side. Wait, Sintra, isn't that already famous? Yes, but only one tiny part of it. Most tourists visit the two main palaces, take photos, and leave. What they miss is the real Sintra, miles of enchanted forest trails connecting hidden quintas, crumbling romantic ruins, and secret lookout points with zero people around. The Palace of Montserrat sits in a jungle-like garden and receives a fraction of the visitors of the more famous sites. The Convento dos Capuchos is a 16th century monastery built so small and close to the earth that monks had to duck through every doorway. It feels completely untouched by the modern world. The secret to Sintra is simple. Arrive before 9 in the morning or explore after 4 in the afternoon when the day trippers have gone back to Lisbon. The forest is yours. Most people see Sintra, very few people actually experience it. Go early, go deep into the forest, and prepare to feel like you've wandered into a fairy tale. Gem number 4. Plovdiv Old Town, Bulgaria. Bulgaria doesn't get nearly enough credit as a travel destination, and Plovdiv is living proof of what this country is hiding. Plovdiv is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in Europe, older than Rome, older than Athens, and its old town is an absolute masterpiece. Colorful National Revival period houses with overhanging upper floors lean across narrow cobblestone lanes. A fully preserved Roman amphitheater sits right in the middle of the city and still hosts concerts to this day. Plovdiv was the European Capital of Culture in 2019, which brought a wave of incredible street art and creative energy that somehow made an already beautiful city even more vibrant. And Bulgaria being one of the most affordable countries in Europe means your money goes incredibly far here. A great meal with wine in Plovdiv costs what a coffee costs in Paris. Plovdiv is what happens when 3,000 years of history meet a modern creative soul. And almost nobody from outside Europe knows it exists yet. Gem number 3. The Lofoten Islands, Norway. We are now entering the top 3, and things are about to get seriously spectacular. The Lofoten Islands in northern Norway sit above the Arctic Circle and look absolutely nothing like anything else on Earth. Razor-sharp mountain peaks shoot straight up from the sea. Tiny fishing villages of red and yellow wooden cabins cluster along sheltered bays. The water is a color of blue that seems almost too vivid to be real. In summer you get the midnight sun, 24 hours of daylight that turns the whole landscape into a golden dream. In winter, if conditions are right, you can stand on the beach at 11 at night and watch the northern lights dance above the mountains reflected in the still black water below. The hiking here is world-class. The Ryton hike rewards you with one of the most photographed views in all of Scandinavia, a curved beach viewed from 500 meters directly above. The Lofoten Islands are not a hidden gem in the traditional sense. They are just so remotely magnificent that most people convince themselves the journey is too far. It is never too far. Gem number 2. Plitvic's secret neighbor, Krka National Park, Croatia. Plitvice Lakes is one of the most famous national parks in Europe. It's also, and I say this with love, completely overrun with tourists for most of the year. 2 hours south along the Croatian coast sits Krka National Park, equally stunning, far less visited, and with one enormous advantage that Plitvice cannot offer. You can swim in it. The Skrodinski Buk waterfall at Krka is a series of 17 stunning travertine waterfalls cascading into crystal turquoise pools that you can literally jump into. Wooden boardwalks wind through lush subtropical canyon vegetation with the sound of rushing water everywhere around you. Visit first thing in the morning before the day tripper boats arrive from Split and you will have the waterfalls almost entirely to yourself. The light through the trees at 7 in the morning, hitting those turquoise pools, genuinely one of the most beautiful natural scenes in Europe. Krka is everything people go to Plitvice for, plus you can swim. Come early, stay long, and thank me later. Gem number 1. Rila Monastery and the 7 Rila Lakes, Bulgaria. And here we are, number 1, the place I promised you at the start of this video. And I want to be very clear, this is not hyperbole. Bulgaria's Rila Monastery is the most important cultural and spiritual site in the entire country, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, founded in the 10th century, with walls covered in the most breathtaking collection of frescoes you will find anywhere in Orthodox Christian art. The sheer scale of the colors, the detail, and the history contained within those walls is overwhelming. But that's only half the story. An hour's hike above the monastery, at over 2,000 meters altitude, sit the 7 Rilla Lakes, a chain of glacial alpine lakes carved out by ancient ice, each one named after its shape or character. The tear, the eye, the kidney, the twin, the trefoil, the fish lake, the lower lake. The hike between them takes you through some of the most serene, jaw-dropping alpine scenery in all of Eastern Europe. The silence up there, broken only by wind and the occasional eagle, is the kind of silence that actually resets something inside you. And because Bulgaria remains one of Europe's most overlooked destinations, you can do all of this: monastery, mountain hike, alpine lakes, traditional Bulgarian dinner, and a night in a cozy guesthouse, for less money than a single night in a budget hotel in Paris. Rilla Monastery and the 7 lakes above it is not just the best hidden gem in Europe. It might be one of the most complete and moving travel experiences on the entire continent. Bulgaria has been hiding this in plain sight for decades. And there you have it, 10 of Europe's most breathtaking hidden gems, from the medieval stone city of Gjirokastra in Albania all the way to the sacred mountain lakes above Bulgaria's most beautiful monastery. Europe is one of the most explored continents on Earth, and it still has secrets like this tucked away, waiting for the travelers who are willing to look a little harder and go a little further. That's what Roam the World is all about. Not the obvious, not the Instagram crowds. The real thing. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 10 hidden gems surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this video gave you that itch to start planning your next adventure, hit that subscribe button right now. We drop a brand new travel guide every single week, covering hidden gems, budget travel tips, adventure destinations, and so much more from every corner of the planet. The world is full of places most people never find. We'll find them together. This is Roam the World, and your next adventure starts right now. Globe Airplane.